Nevertheless, they went right into it. They've got 2 world titles, and they've only got 4 matches on the card. So, because of what they did last, apparently they thought, okay, we'll do this one first. Cody and Drew on the first match. The title can change hands via disqualification or count out of ring. And this was the best match because there was nothing the matter with it. Nothing went wrong. Both guys are over. It's, they know what they're doing. But at the same time, if this was the best match on the show, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the match, but they just kind of moved it up and stuck it in here because all their other plans went to shit. So were you really ready for it?
I hated this match.
Okay. Then apparently you want to shoot everybody else on the show.
I was in the middle of this match is when it hit me like, oh my God, how are they going to fill up the whole show? How long is it going to be if this is how long this match is going to go? I thought it went forever. I thought it almost felt like they were in slow motion at times to me. I don't, and then the finish, I don't want to spoil you talking about it, but the finish was like, what the fuck just happened? Did he turn? Did he not turn? Should he turn now? I don't, I feel bad for Drew. Is Drew now
slowly
the baby?
I turned.
Yeah. But let's talk about it.
Well, and I mean, I took notes on this match, and again, like I said, technically, all their shit looks good, and they put a smart match together where they worked the stipulations early. Drew was trying to goad or coerce Cody into getting disqualified, or then at one time he dumped him into the orchestra pit out there trying to get him counted out, and Cody made the count back at 9, and that got a pop.
Yeah, that was pretty good. It really did look like he maybe counted out for a second there. That was really good.
Well, yeah, also because the way he got there was Drew tackled him off the apron, and he went through the goddamn, over the table, into the goddamn, the milling throng. But the thing is, they're smart. And they can adapt on the fly. At one point, Cody's going to do a spot where he ran to the corner and came off with a Cody cutter, and the referee was in the way for a shoot, actually in the way, not knowing. And so Cody buckled his knee on the turnbuckles and kind of crumpled and let Drew work on the knee for a while, and then they went back to the spot. But and Michael Cole, let's bring him up before we forget to.
Brian, you're too hard on Michael Cole. He's the best ever. You can't do what he does. He's so good. He's the least of their problems.
Oh my God, I hear it every time I tell the truth about this. And he said something here that flabbergasted me. I went back 3 times to rewind it. Eventually I wrote it down and tweeted it out. My God.
I wrote it down too. Michael Cole said that this was the 40th anniversary, which he saw this on Twitter, by the way. The 40th anniversary of Dusty Rhodes' famous Hard Times promo, which is true. And that's what cemented Dusty Rhodes as a global star in 1985.
On Worldwide.
That would be, on Worldwide. That would be like, in the Gettysburg Address cemented Abraham Lincoln as a coming up politician.
Well, see, that's the thing. It's a great promo. It's a fantastic promo. In a vacuum, it's a great promo. It was not a promo talked about ever, in my circles at least, until WWE put it out on DVD.
I was 75 feet away from him when he did it, in the locker room at the TV taping. And because you know what that was to Dusty? Tuesday. He did those promos all the fucking time. He did them at Crockett's office for the local promos for Philly and fucking Charlotte and Atlanta and wherever. He did them every Tuesday night at syndicated tapings. And They weren't all that good. They were in the ballpark. Some of them probably, if we went back and looked, were even better. But that's the one they put on the DVD. But we've talked about this before. It wasn't like Dusty came back and said, wow, I wowed him. You know, with that one, no, it was Tuesday. But the point is, he'd been a global star for fucking 10 years.
Yeah, he had been a global star. He had been one of the biggest drawing cards in North America. He had been booked in Japan. He was a major draw to the point where he was getting booked out of his own territory everywhere.
Yes.
Years before. This was the winding down of his career, not the height of it in any way. It would be like if, you know, Jim, I don't know if you know this, today is the 40th anniversary of Jim Cornette's Here They Are, Lean, Mean, Slick, and Quick intro in Mid-South for the Midnight Express, which cemented him on the national stage as a voice to be heard. It's just like nonsensical. I don't even know if you call it a rewriting of wrestling history. I guess it is.
It's just something that and Michael Cole probably believes it because he wasn't cognizant of what was happening at the time. He was in a different world.
Can you imagine how different things would be if, for mid and late 80s Crockett, people focused more on the promos that were on the syndicated shows as opposed to TBS?
Well, that's, you know, again, it was the same kind of promos. We didn't like save the A material for TBS. We all did the promos the same, regardless of what TV show it was for. And in some cases, some of the guys got more time on syndication.
Yeah, and a lot of fans only know the stuff from TBS because a lot of that syndication stuff just isn't in circulation, or if it is, you have to really search for it. WWE doesn't put it out. There are loads of fantastic promos that there's a generation of fans that could, you know, they can go discover that. But yeah,
and much better matches on syndication, actually, because even the level of the job guys was up because it wasn't the 2 hours of squash matches that you'd get a lot of times on TBS on Saturday. It was the George Souths and Italian Stallions and Gary Royals and those guys doing jobs and more main event matches because we were in arenas.
And screaming fans. Yeah, that's the other thing.
Yes.
But anyway, Hard Times. It's a fantastic promo, but I did not hear any wrestling fan anywhere say a word about it throughout the 90s.
But anyway, so back to Cody and Drew. And again, they had gone to do that spot. The referee was kind of in the way, which again was a shoot. And then they went back to it. And then it made it kind of even worse that in the finish, Drew was going to shove Cody into the referee, which he did. And the referee goes down from getting squashed in the corner. But I've seen people on fucking security videos get hit by cars and be up quicker. This was the thing that, to me, you talked about the finish that I thought is a good match, good story they told, good work they did. But then the finish took the wind out of it because the referee goes down and he's down for so long, and Drew headbutts Cody and goes out and gets the title belt and swings it, but he misses. And Cody and Drew have a double knockout, and then they're both selling. And the poor referee is still down. And then Cody, the belt was in the ring. Cody grabs Drew and DDTs him on the belt and then tosses the belt out. So,
which Wade Barrett in the role of Jesse Ventura immediately pointed out that's a heel thing to do.
Yes, and you could almost hear a murmur of like, even though Drew brought it in.
No, you heard it from the fans, yeah.
But let's face it, they had to give Drew as many outs as possible because he needs to win something. Because he's a great talent, and he's been doing these incredible promos, and his whole thing is he gets screwed, but he needs to win something to keep in the game before it gets. I think part of the thing that got him over was he did have legitimate gripes that he should have got this or he should have got that. But if he doesn't win something, then either he's cursed by a gypsy or you see what I'm saying. But anyway, Cody DDTs him on the belt, tosses the belt out. The referee gets up, luckily, and Cody hits the Crossroads 1, 2, 3. So I wasn't as down on the match as you were, but I think I'm as down on the finish as you are.
Yeah, again, maybe I was just being unfair to the match. It, to me, did not really hit until the end. It kind of got a little hot. And then, again, you kind of start hyper-analyzing things. You're like looking at Cody's facial expressions. Was there any sign of being a heel here? It's just such an interesting thing to do. The fact that the fans did have a audible reaction is maybe the biggest story here. Because if they didn't, if they cheered, Hulk Hogan wrestled like a heel when he was a babyface. If you ever watch, he's scratching people's back, raking their, like, doing all sorts of shit. And the fans are eating it up.
But the old rule then was the babyface can do it back to the heel. The heel has to do it first. But these people are a little pickier.
But it also, again, put thoughts in my head. Watching Drew slumped against the ring, I was thinking, man, I kind of feel bad for this guy. I kind of want to cheer this guy. Cody, I don't know. I've thought that there was a little bit of a downgrade in his popularity for a little while. But if he's going to start doing stuff like that, it's going to be interesting to see how. Maybe it's just the finish of this match and that's it. He'll go back to being, the milk drinking, walking old ladies across the street.
What's Cody going to do next here? What's up for Cody?
What do you want to see him do?
What do you want to talk about?
No, you've always been a big supporter of his, even in the past, like in AEW, when I had problems with what he was doing. You were one of the last people. You kind of always have seen the best in Cody. You've seen how they've been booking him. You see where he is. What do you think he should do next?
Well, apparently we are not going to get a rematch between Brock Lesnar and John Cena. That's pretty much obvious at this point. So they just decided to just have Brock just beat the piss out of Cena. But at the same time, I wouldn't mind Cody and Brock for the belt is a money match. I don't know whether I want to see a program at this point between them. Promos and personal issues and animosity. You know who the best person in the company is at that? It's Punk. But then there's the problem is that if Cody hadn't been bickering and fighting other baby faces, that would be nominally, just a wonderful thing. And I love Punk's heel persona, but it ain't the time for that because they like Punk too. You could get a big match out of Cody and Punk as baby faces, but you can't get that personal issue like with Punk and Rollins or Punk and Drew. Rollins is out of the picture and probably needs a rest from all these people for the foreseeable future. Anyway, so what do Cody do?
The biggest thing that hasn't been done, and I'm not saying they're going to do it here, but, hearing you talk about this just makes me think about it. Cody and Punk, not like, hey, let's have a match, but I mean an actual program. It's the most interesting thing either guy could do. The problem would be inherently, Cody will start getting booed. Even if Punk turned heel, I think Cody would get booed against Punk.
Yes, because Punk's supporters are more adamant about supporting Punk, regardless of what the writers say. And Cody has already been. See, that's why I said if he hadn't been, I'd still like it. If he hadn't been, fighting these other crossways with these other baby faces, and or had been made to look kind of weak for a while there. He's had a bad year between the Rock's interference and the Cena thing, all that stuff, right? But nevertheless,
what options are there? Dominic's a champion. He's never really had a big run against a world champion, but he has a championship. There's something there already.
Yeah, but it ain't a money match right now.
Braun and Bronson. I guess technically you could have one go for Punk, one go for Cody. But I don't know if that's the right thing either. The Drew thing's over. Rollins is gone. The Usos, I don't want to see that. Roman, whenever he shows up, a Roman Cody thing, I guess there still is some unresolved stuff. Roman needs to get his win back. The Rock, if he's going to show up, he's going to show up again in the next few months. If he shows up, is he going to do something with Cody? Even if it doesn't lead to anything, is that what they're going to do? I mean,
right now, if I was Nick Khan or Ari Emanuel or one of these upper crust high head honchos, if The Rock wanted to get in a ring again ever, I would say as soon as you put Cody over, and we'll talk about other matches. But at this point, what the fuck? If he's going to wrestle again, we need to resolve that. To me, Braun Breaker and Punk for the title is the WrestleMania match because of the Paul Heyman involvement, and that'll be brilliant. Or maybe Cody can just do commentary and cut promos with Bob Caudle on the hard times he's having.
I don't know about that. That may be a bit of a stretch, but, Cody could, Jim, possibly, potentially, use a good night's sleep.
Well, that's what a lot of people can use. And boy, I'd like to have one because since they changed this daylight savings time, I'm up at 5 o'clock in the morning and it's pitch black. But folks, if you go to sleep on a Helix sleep mattress, well, when you wake up, you won't know what time it is. You'll be completely disoriented. You won't even remember your own family. That's how good you're going to sleep.
It won't do anything. It won't do anything.
You woke up last week and called the cops and said there's some woman and several children in my house. Can you come and take them away?
I can't comment on that publicly, and you know that. But the point is that whatever Jim said that I already was thrown off from, that was wrong. And let's talk about what's right.
We'll talk about what's right. That's getting a good night's sleep and refreshing yourself, recharging your body's clock and your body chemistry. As a matter of fact, Helix, one of their new mattresses that they've come out with, it helps balance your body chemistry. There's a tube that comes up out of the mattress, and you put it in like an IV in a main vein. When you go to bed, and overnight you are recharged and re-energized.
Jim, one of the great things about Helix sleep mattresses is that you don't even have to make up crazy things because they're so good that people will get a good night's sleep because the mattress will be exactly what they want, and we're over here now.
Yes, and it'll come to your door with several armed, burly men carrying it because they guard these things closely to make sure nobody contaminates them.
It will be normal delivery.
With an armored car, and it'll come in a box, and you just take it. Take it to the room that you want it to be in.
That's right.
And then you slice it open and duck, because that son of a it comes up with a pleasing. And it's not like these big old-fashioned mattresses where you had to lug them in sideways and throw them in the window somehow. And boom, when you lay down on that thing, well, you're going to be sleeping instead of with the fishes, you're going to be sleeping with the angels. It'll send you up instead of down. And they've got mattresses for anybody. If you sleep hot, you sleep cold, you like to sleep on your back or your front. As a matter of fact, we've heard from a number of people. It's a new thing, Brian. They're nailing it up to the wall and just kind of backing up into it at night. And that way, when they wake up in the morning, they can get started with their day even quicker. That's the executive model for you workaholics.
I don't know about that. And of course, for you sleepaholics, they have great mattresses that are available for public viewing on their website. You can go check it out for yourself and pick what's right for you. Just like we have done.
As a matter of fact, that's another thing. After you've had this mattress, the Helix Sleep mattress from helixsleep.com, after you've had the mattress for 90 days, they're going to come over and they're going to bring a photographer. He's going to take a picture of you laying on that mattress and they're going to put it up on their website.
That's not.
So if you want to see people enjoying the Helix mattresses, everybody that gets one's picture is up there, and you can. Sometimes they're unclothed, but usually people do wear some form of wrapping when they go to sleep.
There is no photo section on their website. There will be no candid photography or arranged photography. This isn't about photography. This is about a good night's sleep. And of course, for a good night's sleep, you need a great mattress. We have them here at Last Manor, several Helix Sleep mattresses. They're popular at Castle Cornette.
Yes, they are. I've got them all over the house and the backyard, as I mentioned before. So in case of fire, you can jump right out the window and land unharmed. That's only for people that live in a 2-story home or bigger. If you jump out the window and have to put a mattress down if you live on the ground floor, you're just a pussy. Folks, right now, just go to helixsleep.com/JCE. You take the quiz on what kind of mattresses you like. They pick you out the best one. You buy it. They send it to you. You put it on your bed. And you sleep like the sleep of the angels in the clouds. And you'll hear harp music. And then the Marx Brothers will come through and you'll have this crazy, wild dream about animal crackers. helixsleep.com/JCE, 27% off is what's going on. 27% off with that code JCE. Do you know how much 27% of a mattress is? That's like 6 cubic feet.
It's 27% of savings of the price, not the size of the mattress.
Oh, they're going to give you the whole mattress and charge you less. That's even better.
Amazing.
They're going to give you the entire mattress, folks, but they're going to charge you 27% less for it. I don't know how you can even do that deal and stay in business. Boy, howdy, helixsleep.com/JCE. That's where you need to go then. Hey, you don't even need to scrunch up and bend your knees because you'll have the whole mattress to stretch out on.
Once again, great mattresses. We love them here. We're sure you'll love them too. Let us know. But our good friends, Helix Sleep, Jim, one more time, that promo code.
helixsleep.com/JCE, 27% off. And boy, and these even pass the sniff test. When you sleep face down, I'll tell you more about the sniff test on the next spot.